Oh yeah, you're gonna love this. This is Craig Metrowich for Celebrities Wavy, and today we're gonna talk about social media and healthy habits. This is Craig Metrowich for Celebrities1.tv. You're gonna love this. I need a love, a like, and a wow. If the signal is good, I've walked around my area where I'm isolated to find signal, and hopefully this is a good spot. And today I want to talk about things like the do's and don'ts of social media. I've done a couple of radio shows, so I'll put the link in the description, where we chatted about the do's and don'ts of social media. And I found, especially in challenging times like now, just watching the feeds and, being part of what's been fed through to us, I thought what I'd do is proactively give you some infotainment just on what I found is very important on the do's and don'ts around social media. And how do you actually, in this time period of isolation, to create some positive messages and be aware that every single thing you share on social media is there forever. You might say, yeah, but I'll delete it. But I might screenshot it and share it. Then it's there forever, right or wrong. So first tip, number one, review the source of your information. There's been a lot of fake news doing its rounds throughout the world. Don't you become one of those people that intentionally, unintentionally shares fake news. Share legitimate news. How? Go and look at the original source. Right now, in South Africa, the government's been very proactive on giving us all links where we can find those sources. So let's all focus on social media and healthy habits, especially in this time period. Other things we need to be aware of is posting photographs of our family and our kids. Be very, very careful about every photo you post. Why? Because you don't realize it. I can see, and everybody else can see, the layout of your house, the security features or lack thereof. In other words, don't compromise your safety. Think 10 times before posting any photographs on social media or videos, anything, including WhatsApp, including LinkedIn, all the platforms to do with your kids or your family. You don't realize it, but you might unintentionally be compromising your security and putting yourself at some risk. Other things that I might share with you that I also shared in the radio show that I did is around social media and the positivity of social media. I mean, hasn't it been wonderful that we have been able to communicate with our loved ones across the world when in isolation? So that's a positive. Hasn't it been wonderful that, for example, my brother phoned me from Australia via WhatsApp call, and we spoke for maybe 30 minutes. Why? Because we had time. We weren't stressed. We weren't rushing. So that's a positive. Background, probably the dogs and wildlife and birds, and I think planet Earth is enjoying. Okay, so we should be back. I just lost signal for a second. So positivity around social media. Let's find some of the good stuff. I was saying towards the break there is that I think planet Earth is very excited about getting this breather. And I don't know about you, but where I'm staying in Pretoria, Linwood, in the morning, there's definitely sounds like more birds chirping in the background. They sound a little bit happier. Other things about social media healthy habits. Every word, every sentence you write is the same as placing it like in the old days on a billboard next to the highway. You remember those billboards, those huge billboards, okay? Giving away my age. So now when you're posting, be aware that the billboard to the world is in your hands right now. It's your smartphone, or it's your tablet, or it's your notebook. So please be very, very aware of what you share online. Take it seriously. Yes, be fun about it, but take it seriously. Let's talk about work. A lot of us are trying to work from a mobile point of view, virtual point of view. Yet in our personal capacities, we're often not thinking about what we're sharing. So what I've seen people get political and sharing all sorts of medical stuff and things, and they have got no background in medical. They've got no real understanding of politics. And I'm not saying they've got bad intentions. I'm just saying is, don't share stuff you don't know anything about. Seriously? Don't share things you don't know anything about. Right. If you don't know about the medical stuff, don't share it. If you don't know the source, don't share it. Validate, validate. And then the other thing I found very, very positive, because I want to give a balance. Sean, thanks for being online. Positive and the negatives of social media is some of the voice clips that have been doing their rounds. Okay, don't trust any of those because you can't validate the source. Do you hear what I just said? If you get a voice clip via WhatsApp or any of the social media stuff, don't trust. By the way, that's why I love this live vlogging. Because, you know, the lighting is great or it's not, the sound's great or it's not. It's as legit as you can get it. So people who've just joined, my name is Craig Metrowich. This is for the Good News channel, celebrities1.tv. Go and check out my business site, which is called URPOWERFUL.com. I'll put in the description because I've got a lot of radio shows that I did that I've loaded there as podcasts, which you can listen to. They are infotainment and they should just give you more insights around, you know, healthy habits around. Let's talk about technical stuff. For example, every picture you share, if you right click, you can look at the properties, which means you can see the source of the actual photograph. So I do love it when people share my content. Please do. And if I share content, I'll give credit to whoever I source it from. But important for you is to understand that anything you put on social media, be it a video, be it a picture, we can easily source where it's from. So be aware of that. I want to go back to family and sharing pictures on family and kids and things like that. Don't share your kids on social media. You hear what I just said? Why? Because a lot of the stuff you're doing is giving geolocation away, so people know where you stay. You're sharing, for example, videos and pictures of your home. Are you crazy? Why would you do that? You never did it before this lockdown. So go back to the healthy habits, safe habits. Remember, we're trying to all be safe. We're trying to be healthy. And part of that is obviously being healthy as far as your social media habits. Let's talk about you staying inspired. Guess what? I can find lots of positives in social media there if you look for it. So there's things like, shout out to Brainy Quotes, brilliant site. Go and check it out. Lots of different inspirational quotes. YouTube, very powerful when you are searching for, you know, motivation and inspiration. So go and, you know, Google on YouTube, motivation, inspiration. And once again, look at the sources as to which is trustworthy sources for inspiring you. What about learning? How's that for a great, healthy habit? Learning through social, you know, what we call distancing, but this time virtual learning. Lots of companies have now offered their content online. So that's a positive. What about creating your own content? Why don't you publish an ebook online? You can self-publish now online quite easily and share your brilliant wisdom now online. Another positive. I've seen a lot of people sharing their talents as far as singing. How's this in the background? I mentioned wildlife earlier on. I mean, there's certainly wildlife flying around here in the background. Getting back to music and artists and, you know, the talent out there. Wonderful to see online. A lot happening on Instagram is people going and from their rooms creating a concert and sharing it online. So this is Craig Metrowich for celebrities1.tv, the Good News channel. Go and check 161 of our vlogs. I promise they're all good news. I was blessed because 3 years of work on that channel enabled me to do close-up and personal interviews, which now, you know, we can't do really for isolation purposes. And it should inspire you, have a good laugh, and energize you. On my business site, I've loaded my inspirational book. It's called Life Sucks, Extreme Inspiration. I think the title is very appropriate in these challenging times, but it's a free book. Go and download it. Also, a shout out to childhood cancer. Please, let's not forget the children out there that have got a low immune system anyway fighting cancer. They've got a Back a Buddy campaign. They have asked me to do a shout out. So to everybody, please go and support CHOC, that is childhood cancer, and just Google Back a Buddy and you'll find their campaign. They definitely need your support as well in these challenging times. And then a positive roundup note to all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've kept me inspired through the many messages I've got, either via message comments and ideas. Please send me via Messenger. And I'll also say is via WhatsApp. I get lots of messages via WhatsApp saying, we need to be inspired, we need to be energized. So this is heading to the wrap up. Share the good news. Share the positivity. Do the right thing on social media. Healthy habits on social media. Check the sources of the media before you share it. Okay, level up your game. Don't just share the bad news. There's so much bad news, we know that. Share a balance of good news versus bad news. I've got 2 Brians online. Thank you very much for watching. And then my hope to all of us is that when we get through this, we're going to come through emotionally stronger. We're going to realize our weaknesses as people. Some people can't be on their own. It's something they need to view. Why can't they be on their own? I'm happy within myself. Don't like being on my own. I am in isolation, but I'm at peace with being completely on my own. Because if you have your crystal clear purpose, and this is what I'm going to finish off on. If you have a crystal clear purpose, when these challenging times in life come along, and they will come again and again in different forms, what happens is you can stay the course. You can stay focused. You can stay energized. And God willing,